Welcome back to another one, you guys. Today is the day I make this video. Okay, I did add a new segment to a new playlist, a new segment to the channel called Stay Weather Aware. Well, today, this is that video. And I just want to say, if you live in the United States and you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. If you have not already liked this video or you want to see what I've got going on in this video before you like this video, that's fine. But give me a chance, okay? I got a great video for everybody for the new segment. And today we are talking about the 1920 Palm Sunday Tornado Outbreak. Okay, with that said, this was probably one of the more significant tornado outbreaks in United States history. That's why it's been listed as one of the deadliest. And one of the tornadoes in the 1920 Palm Sunday tornado outbreak happened to come through a portion of Alabama. So with that, I'm going to add a couple of pretty cool facts that I found online about my state. In the year 1920, my state was very high in cotton, soybean, alfalfa fields, and corn fields. Back in the 1920s, northern Alabama was more of I won't say religious, but there was a lot of Christian people that started residing in the northern Alabama area around about this time. So, my grandfather was born in 1920, so that's kind of cool. On March 25th, a large outbreak of possibly 37 tornadoes, 31 of which were extremely significant, took place across the Midwestern and Southern United States. The tornadoes left at least 153 dead and possibly 1,215, if not more, injured. So that says a lot. Many communities and farmers alike were caught off guard as the storms moved to the northeast at speeds that reached over 60 miles an hour. Most of the fatalities occurred in Georgia, Ohio, and Indiana. Luckily for Alabama that year, there were no fatalities, but we did have a couple of tornadoes that year. Little is known about many of the specific tornadoes that occurred. There is a list on Wikipedia.com about the Palm Sunday tornado outbreak. However, it's only a partial list. That's the only problem. It's only a partial list. The atmosphere was destabilized just enough for everything that happened that faithful day, unfaithful day, whatever you want to call it. But most of the residents of the Great Lakes region and Ohio Valley areas, the only source of information was the vague forecasters that were like, okay, we may or may not see this kind of weather. It may or may not happen. We don't really know. So, yeah, back in 1920, that was when the United States was just really coming together. Because that was about the same time as the Great Depression. So, you keep that in mind when y'all do any research about the 1920 Palm Sunday Tornado Outbreak. Keep that in mind. This is around the same time as the Great Depression was going on. Now, 1925 was very specific as well because most of the tornadoes from the Tri-State Tornado Outbreak were in Ohio and Indiana as well. So that kind of links with this a little bit because even though both times the atmosphere was extremely unstable, one was more potent for tornadoes, which was the tri-state tornado, and the other is not. The It was around March when this happened, March 25th of 1920, when this tornado outbreak happened. So you really got to keep in mind the time of year. This is not as potent, even though there are more significant tornadoes out of this one than the tri-state. But the tri-state of 1925, that tornado outbreak, from what I understand and how I gather my information, that was more unstable air than the 1920, because this happened in March of 1920. Like in March, you see snow and blizzards and spring-like weather, but not tornadoes. Not in March. It's very, very rare to see a March tornado. But when you do, please, please, just get underground if you ever see a tornado. So, one of the things I want to talk about this actually was there is a specific area when I was doing this that I found quite interesting about the atmosphere when I was writing some of this stuff. Hang on, let me find it. Here it is. One of the actual facts. The use of the word tornado was strictly prohibited in public weather forecasting until the 1950s. 50s. Because of the fear and panic it might cause. The policy would come under fire in the years to come, especially after the Tri-State Tornado in 1925, that stands today as the deadliest tornado in American history. Weather forecasters and the public alike in the Chicago, Dayton, Fort Wayne, Lansing, South Bend, and Toledo areas were unaware that the stage was set that day for a significant tornado outbreak that would follow a balmy and seemingly tranquil Palm Sunday afternoon. The weather maps in use in March 1920 showed a rather large and deep cyclone over northern Iowa that was forecast to move across central lower Michigan by nightfall with a trailing cold front. Okay, when they say cyclone, they don't actually mean cyclone. They mean a low pressure area or a high pressure area. But back then they couldn't tell if it was low pressure or high pressure, so they used the word cyclone. Meteorologists knew rain showers and perhaps a thunder shower was a good possibility, but were unaware that the helicity, lifted index, and upper level winds were being guided by a strong jet stream with a probable negative tilt that would then create favorable conditions for the development of tornadoes. When there's a tilt in the atmosphere, generally that's from wind shear, and that tilt makes it tilt upward. That's why we see the funnel. Okay, so when that shear finally almost goes vertical, that's when you actually see the tornado. Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't, depending on the tornado and the conditions of the tornado and the conditions of the atmosphere around the tornado. You can see it based on any debris that is picked up, but very rarely do you ever really get to see it in person. So if you chase storms for a living, look for that wind shear that lifts when it gets to about this angle. That's called a negative tilt. This would be a positive tilt. This is a negative tilt. So when from your side of the camera, it would be this way. That would be a negative tilt. This would be a positive tilt on your side of the camera. So just so you know. On the morning of March 28th, however, a low pressure center positioned itself near Sioux City, Iowa, with a reported pressure of 28.96. That would be 981 millibars, which is not good. Ahead of the low, temperatures over a broad expanse ranged from 20 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, anywhere from 20 to 77, that's almost 57-degree difference. Like, that's crazy. It was 77 degrees Fahrenheit in Montgomery, Alabama, with a brisk low-level wind ranging from the southeast to south-southeast. These winds allowed a warm, moist air mass to advect northward from the Gulf of Mexico to the Great Lakes. That was the reason for the tornadoes that happened in 1920. That's what makes it such a different what's the word I'm looking for? Not atmosphere, but for the surrounding atmosphere around the tornadoes that did happen and did occur. Y'all got to keep in mind, this all happened in 1920. So 1920, shout out to y'all people if y'all still alive and y'all are old enough to remember the 1920 Palm Sunday outbreak. Kudos to you guys because y'all are the true survivors. I was born in 85 and I've been through 3 F5s. So, with that said, please stay weather aware. I am the one, the only Lauren General, and I will talk to you guys later. We'll be doing a video later about the merchandise and possibly giving y'all an update. So, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this kind of video and you know you definitely want more, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. And let's say something positive about my dog. Because my dog is awesome. Yeah, are you awesome? Are you still waiting on that treat? He'll give you that treat now. I'll give him a treat. I'm going to get off of here and give him a treat. And my sister's dog a treat. We're being such good doggies today. Yeah, oh, don't do that. Don't lick me. I'll kiss you, but don't lick me. Oh, the baby. Alright, you want to say bye? Say bye. Say bye-bye. He's so adorable. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Love you guys.